Hey folks, this is David Smith of Correctional Officer Lifestyle coming to you today with another video. This is another video series. It is We Are One Team. Regardless of whether you work in security, classification, medical, dental, mental health, chapel, education, vocational, whatever, food service, doesn't matter. We're all one team, okay? I work in security. I have worked in security my entire career. I don't know much about how to work the other places, but I do know a little bit about what they do, okay? I'm going to start off today with classification. Classification is responsible for the proper housing and classification of an inmate according to their history, their disciplinary history, their crime, their criminal history, and things like this. Without classification, you have people mix-matched all over the place. You're potentially exposing your lesser custody inmates with your higher custody inmates, and that can also brew a bunch of trouble for you, okay? Classification also takes care of the gain time that inmates get, often referred to as time off for good behavior. That's a classification deal. Disciplinary reports go through classification. In Florida, in order to hear a disciplinary report, in order to go into a disciplinary report hearing, a classification officer has to be on the team. Okay? Protection needs investigations. Classification has to be there. Job assignments for inmates, classification has to be there. Classification is such an integral part of what we do. I don't know how we would get along without them. And that's the God's honest truth. That's not me blowing anybody's horn or anything like that. I'm just saying, without classification, you can't manage inmates. You can't. It's impossible. How does classification relate to security? Okay. Classification takes care of your transfers. If you got one that you need to get gone, classification's who you need to go to. They're the ones that are going to make that happen. Classification takes care of transfers. Classification takes care of when an inmate gets into confinement, not when an inmate goes into confinement, but when one comes out. Classification has direct involvement in that. Okay? If I put an inmate under investigation because I'm investigating into his illegal activities inside the prison, if I put one under investigation, when my investigation is concluded, I send my report via email to the Chief of Security and classification. That is how vital a role classification plays inside a facility. Now, like I said, all I can say is how classification relates to security, because that's what I know is how they relate to security, okay? I can't say what classification does on the day-to-day, on the daily. I can't talk about the interviews that they hold with these inmates. I can't do any of that, but I can tell you how it relates to security, okay? If you're at a work camp or at a forestry camp, which we used to have one attached to us, the inmates that go outside the gate have to be vetted by classification. Inmates that go to work release, they have to be vetted by classification. There's so much that goes into it. And I am willing to go on ahead and say we've got one of the best classification teams at my facility that there is. Honestly, our guys take care of us. Our classification officers take care of security second to none. Those people are awesome, and I love the opportunity to work with them on a day-to-day basis. I really do. You won't hear a lot of people in my position say that, but I do. I look forward to the time that I get to spend working with classification. Is it a perfect relationship? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Uh-uh. Some of the people in classification, I love to refer to them as the off-color sheep, because some of them are a little bit difficult to get along with. But they're a little bit difficult to get along with because I want to do stuff that I probably shouldn't be doing. I want to do stuff that goes against what's right according to them. And we argue about it a little bit. We do. But it's a good, healthy relationship. It's a good, healthy argument. And we're not doing anything to violate each other's trust. You know what I mean? So whenever you go to work at a prison, if you are working in security, classification needs to be somebody that you are close to. You have a classification officer, you need to keep them close, because they're going to take care of you just as much as you take care of them. Folks, that's all I got for this video. You like the video, make sure you hit the like button. You want to see more, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notification when I post new videos, and engage. Let me know some comments. Let me know what you're thinking, all right? There's no place for domestic violence in the world. Victims of domestic violence, call 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-7233. If you know the aggressor or an aggressive situation is in progress, 911, that's the call you want to make. 911, get them folks some help. This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I'll see you guys in the next video.